It is 7:02. I'll call the May 18th, 2023 meeting of the Economic Development Commission to order. Roll call, starting on my left.
Adrian Paulson.
June Gagné.
Mary Ann Chinati. Additions to the agenda. I do have one addition, accept a member resignation. So if I could have a motion, I'd like to add that under new business item G.
I'll make such a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Public participation. None. We'll move on to reports. DECD Brownfield Round 17 application was submitted. We've asked for $4 million to continue with the remediation cleanup work over at the Interroyal site. I'm currently working on a Community Investment Fund 2030 application, which is due in June. Shepherd Hill bids came in today. We opened them. I'm reviewing them now and hope to have information for the Board of Selectmen at their first June meeting. Quinnebog River Trail, we had a meeting with DOT to discuss moving that project forward with the federal earmark funds, and we are waiting on more information from DOT as they were getting a hold of DEP regarding the wildlife corridor and whatnot. And I don't have any other reports. Oh, after the last workshop meeting, I had asked, excuse me, Ava if she would please reach out to businesses that exist in town and are looking for help so that we can add their available positions to the website. So she agreed to take that on. Other than that, I don't have anything else. So we will move on to item F, old business, ARPA Business Grant Program. Jordan?
Okay, thank you very much. So hopefully, after the Board of Selectmen meeting on Monday, we will have expended the remainder of the funds, or authorized the expenditure of the remainder of the funds. Today, it's 4 different nonprofits that submitted applications. The first is Aldridge Free Public Library Association. I've been working with them for the last 2 years on their restoration project, and they're just about ready to start the restoration. They did receive a SHPO grant they've received 2 previous planning grants. They just received a restoration grant, and this would help meet the match requirement. They're requesting $8,000. That'll help them continue invasive species treatment. We've just received, again, a grant that covered a $16,000 treatment with a $4,000 contribution, and that'll cover a good chunk of a 5-year treatment plan that's monitored by DEEP to make sure it's not overly aggressive. The third is Project PIN. They had reapproached the town and asked for additional assistance because they've seen about a 25% increased need in the community since COVID. So after we received the other 3 applications, Kevin had requested that we send an application over to them and then maybe award them the remainder of the funding. And also VFW. They've been having a real tough time since COVID, and they're requesting funds for a window and door replacement project. And technically, they all show loss one way or another. However, as nonprofits that provide different services that assist in the economic or social recovery of COVID-19, they don't technically have to demonstrate a loss the same way a business does. But most of them did. They were able to show concrete evidence. So I'm just requesting that this commission recommend the applications for approval by the of Selectmen.
Any questions?
And then I guess general updates, I can, you want to do the vote first?
Let's take care of this first.
Sure.
I understand that nonprofits technically don't have to meet the ARPA guidelines.
Well, so they have to meet the guidelines, they're just the exception that they don't have to show loss the same way business does. As long as they're providing a service that, like I said, assists in the social or economic recovery.
So how does the Aldrich Library Project and Moosup Pond invasive species?
Yeah, so
Explain
Aldrich,
that.
yeah, so Aldrich Library provides free and accessible programs and access to books. People use their service, they go there, they use the computers. That it's a community resource, it's our only library. So preserving the building is extremely important. And the pond, I mean, with COVID, there was so much increased use of outdoor recreation facilities and resources that, I mean, if you look at how ARPA funding's been spent in other towns and communities, a lot of it has gone into, treating natural resources and making sure that they're able to be used by the public, especially with so much activity moving outside, yeah.
Why didn't they continue to treat it during COVID?
So they tried one treatment, and that's part of their loss. Early in COVID, they tried a treatment, and they could only, it just was not done properly. And there was
How much money was spent? Wasn't quite a bit of money spent on it?
Oh, yeah, they spent a lot of money on it. So, and this was fully just on their own.
No guarantees, anything?
What was that?
No guarantees.
What was
With
it?
disbursement, what was that?
Milfoil.
Milfoil, yeah, and the company that they used
I'm
were not.
just curious.
But not the same that the DEEP recommended.
Right, yeah, now there's deep oversight. So, and there's going to be pre and post surveys, and, if the contractor doesn't do what they're supposed to do, DEEP is going to, go after them. So there's a lot more oversight.
What are they going to use $8,000?
So that'll be two more, so that'll either be one larger treatment next year or two smaller treatments over 2 years.
Okay.
But it's only, I don't know, it's only, it doesn't matter that it's a nonprofit, but it's only for that group that lives there.
What do you mean?
It's not for the whole town.
Well, there's the public beach.
The public beach is on the town.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so the milfoil
Good
means to
point.
keep,
Yeah.
getting rid of it means they can actually effectively vote. in the
Right.
water.
Yeah, I remember, 25 years ago, milfoil
Mm,
in Vermont.
yeah.
They wanted you not to bring it back to Connecticut. Of course, it happened.
Yeah.
On the Aldrich Library application, their complete details related to the loss speaks to the pond treatment. So what are Aldrich's details
Oh,
related to the loss?
so Aldrich lost increased cost of goods. I think the estimation is like 20%. Materials are up like 20%. They had closures. Yep.
Did they have increased usage for COVID or decreased?
Decreased because they were closed so much more. But I would imagine, I can get more details regarding usage. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to them about that yet, but.
The library still receives money from the town, right?
Yeah.
This just helps.
Yeah, this helped, and I mean, I'm still.
Well, yeah, they're in the middle of a major project, right?
Yeah, I'm still
Restoring
scrambling for
foundation.
additional funding towards the match, because we were awarded $85,000 for the restoration. The library can already kick in $25,000. I mean $50,000. This 25 would bring it up to 75. And then I've been helping them with a capital campaign to try and raise money. So and I've submitted a ton of smaller grant applications I hope to hear back from in the next month or so.
And the VFW, you just replaced what they lost, sort of? I mean,
Yeah,
they had a
that's-
loss of 8,000 and you just replaced that, but you couldn't give them any more? Because they were closed for quite some time. They didn't make any profit at all.
So, yeah, that's what they
That's all
they
they
actually
qualified
need.
for? Oh, that's all.
Yeah, that's all they needed. And the quotes that they submitted, that's what.
That's all they asked for?
Yeah, or, let me double check. I got it right here. So,
Yeah, 'cause they missed all those dinners, they couldn't, and those are huge fundraisers for them.
So it was all that they lost. So it's, for the windows and doors, it's a little bit more. However, basically, that funding would come from the Project PIN funding. So we just figured we would go with what they demonstrated as loss.
Project Pen, they did receive 25,000 from the town, right? Was
They
that
received some
last
amount,
year?
yeah.
That was last
This
year.
is the last one.
Yeah, as a whole separate item on the resolution, they received funding. But I mean, they experienced, I guess, mass increases.
My understanding is out of town now can use it, or they always could, maybe.
Yeah, so because and I actually was talking to Tim about this, because they receive support from a national level.
Okay.
They can't reject people that come
Okay, I
around. They can give them, there's like a different package that anyone can get. So they just give them, I guess, not the minimum, but they give them what they can.
Have they requested funding from other municipalities in the surrounding area?
I would imagine no. But they would have to look at the specifics of who's come from where, and that, I mean, I would imagine 95% of their usage is in town.
Still in town.
Yeah.
Do we have usage rates? Can we track that?
I'm sure we could get that, yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. But he has, in his application, he had estimated an increase of 20%, or 25%, yeah.
Okay, that's all I had to ask. Willing to make a motion to approve these.
You want to read the motion, the draft motion, Jim,
Okay.
on the memo?
Second
I
paragraph.
do. I have it buried. The following ARPA Small Business and Economic Recovery Grant applications be recommended for approval by the Board of Selectmen, with the contingency that applications receive final approval by the town attorney and all project activities follow municipal, state, and federal guidelines. Aldrich Free Public Library Association, $25,000. Moosup Pond Lakefront Association, $8,000. Project PIN Incorporated, $7,616.17. And the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 5446, $8,683.83.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Updates?
So now we've made come Monday, we've made 17 awards for the full $350,000. We have 13 contracts that have been executed, 11 payments have been made. There's only 2 awardees who haven't actually requested payment yet, but they're probably just collecting quotes and everything like that. And then, yeah, I've been getting some grant follow-up. I'm going to send out for a formal update, a grant report from each grantee. And then an interesting update, Enchanted Jewelry, I'm sure you've heard they were going to close. They've decided to remain open in a different capacity. They're going to do custom jewelry, and then she actually brought her son in from Canterbury. He did custom jewelry. If you went there to get resized, she actually just sent it to him in Canterbury. He's moving his business into Plainfield and expanding it to have a storefront, because in Canterbury it was just an office. So we added him as a co-applicant, and he's since registered with the town. And I'm going to remind him about his trade name. I don't think he's done that yet. But basically that way we're covered where if she does decide to retire within the next 5 years, she won't have to repay it and the business stays in. They're going to do all new signage, all the same projects they were originally going to do, except for the signage updates. It's going to say Enchanted by Windy Hill. And then she'll still be in there. They're still going to operate. She's going to operate her business. He's just going to be, he's just going to also do it. So I think that was pretty
What a nice
good.
solution.
Yeah, I know that when I was talking to Jill, after they were awarded the funding, she had mentioned that her son wanted to move in to the business with her. And then I saw that they were retiring, and I said, what's going on? So this is a good outcome.
Or yeah, because she had actually submitted, or she had said, no thank you, unfortunately we're going to have to close. And then I talked to her again, yeah, and then she mentioned Joe, and so now he's coming in and we're going to keep going.
So the money's going to get split now?
No, so they're just co-applicants or co-grantees. So we're still making the payments to Enchanted. He just co-signed on the contract. It's all the same building. Yeah, they're not even really breaking the building up. They're just going to coexist in the same building and help each other out.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of family jewelry
That's good.
businesses.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. One item I missed, and I apologize, is item C, the approval of minutes from the March 23rd meeting. So,
I'll make a
members,
motion to approve the minutes from March 23rd.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me, Jim. Correspondence, the only thing I had was the trade name listing that was emailed to members. And that concludes our agenda. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Point. You added something.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Under new business, accept member resignation. Jen Green has submitted the following as of yesterday to all concerned parties. Please accept this letter as my resignation from EDC. I regret that I do not have the time to give this position what is required. It has been a pleasure collaborating with all of you, and I look forward to the continued improvements you helped to bring to the town of Plainfield. Thank you. Respectfully, Jennifer Green. So if I could have a motion to accept Jen's...
I'll make a motion to accept Jen Green's resignation.
Do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would like to say thank you to Jen for all of her dedication over the past couple of years, and she will be missed. Okay. Thank you. Now we are at the adjournment. Do I have a motion at 7:20?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
And I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.